Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I share videos about sewing. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make a shirt placket. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just cut out my patterns. If you have noticed, I've already gone ahead to cut out the front and the back patterns, and the next thing I did was just to mark the midpoint from the neckline. Okay, so on this part I have about 4 inches depth of line. This shirt is for a little boy, so I'll just go ahead and just place my tape rule to be reassured. I have 4 inches like this. I'm still going to open it up after stitching. Okay, so what I just did was to mark it in place. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out a long piece of fabric which I have already adhered my paper stay to it. As you can see, I folded it into 2 equal halves and I measured about 6 inches for the wideness, and then for the depth I measured excess because I'm going to be sharing it into 2 equal halves to make up for the depth of the line I marked on that neckline. So just go ahead and just cut it into 2 like you see me doing. After which you are done, the next thing to do now is just to head over to your sewing machine and then place the strip of fabric right next to the lines like this with 5 inches 0.5 inches space like this. Okay, so I'm just going to use my pins and adjust it in place. As you can see, the fabric is way more longer than the depth of the line. This is because we want to have excesses around it after stitching, and then we can just turn it and have it looking all stitched up and nice. So just cut it and make it about 1.5 inch space below. Okay, give it a space below, and then I'm going to head over to the machine and stitch it by 1/2 inch on both sides. So I'm going to take you guys to the sewing machine and you get to see how it's done. So guys, now that I am done stitching, the next thing I did was to split it open in the middle where I marked that chalk line. I'm so sorry that the camera wasn't really capturing this angle. So now this is what I had after I was done splitting. So I had to give it a cut by the sides, and this is what it looks like. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just to fold it this way and then tuck it underneath one after the other. So I started with one side and then I'm just going to fold it this way and have it coming into the back part. Okay, and then I'll also go ahead and iron it down and make it stay flat. As you can see, I folded in the angled part where I cut, and then I'm also going to tuck in the second side like this and overlap it on the first one. Now this is what it looks like after I am done. I hope you can see how it looks like. And then that part where I make little cuts of about 1/2 inch is also folded in. Okay, so now as you can see, I have a total of about 1 inch space of placket for this shirt. Now I'm just going to make everything stay flat and then I'll iron it out. You can also go ahead and secure it with your pin in place and then sprinkle some water on it before ironing it. The best part I love while stitching is ironing. The ironing gets to give you a very neat finishing and very neat work. And that habit alone is going to make your work come out really nicely. This is what I had after I was done. You can see how beautiful and how nice the placket is already looking like. I'm just going to remove the pin and then run a stitch on that area where I had excess fabric underneath, where I tucked the both plackets in. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and just make a square stitch there. After I am done, I'm going to see how it looks like. So guys, after I was done stitching, the next thing I did was to trim out the excesses around the neckline, just like this. And by so doing, we'll have our neckline coming into place. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is to stitch the shoulders together, of course. So I'll be placing my right side of the front and back pattern, and then I will stitch it by half of an inch on the sewing machine, just like this, okay? And after I am done with this side, I'll go ahead and repeat it on the other side as well. So after I was done, the next thing I'm going to do is to flip it to the front side and then get ready to stitch the neckline. So go ahead and place your tape rule this way from one side of the neckline on one end, and then take it all the way around the circumference of the neckline. Okay, by doing this, you want to determine the length of the collar, the size of the collar you are going to cut. So I have a video on how to make the shirt collar. I'm going to be linking that on this video on the screen. After fixing the collar and the sleeve, this is what my shirt looks like. So I'll go ahead and fix the button. So I'm just going to use this available one here just for the purpose of this tutorial. And you might want to use a nicer button to button up your shirt. Okay, so this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys like the video. I'm going to see you guys in my next upload. To watch more videos on how to make a basic shirt, I'm going to be leaving some videos on the screen for you guys. So please do well to check it out. Bye for now.